Welcome to Retro Ordinaire, a trawl through the bottom drawer of entertainment history with me, your host, Scott John, and this guy next to me, Jason Jong.
Wow, you started off as an audition for Wide World of Sports as some kind of voiceover guy for that, and then you ended up just in a heap on the floor.
Yeah, well, I fell apart.
Welcome to this episode, Scotty.
Hello, Jason.
Guess what I've got for you?
Oh, something good, I hope.
Well, that remains to be seen. This is something that I remember fondly from my childhood that did not age well. It's called Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue.
Which is a great title for a
Yes.
TV show. It's one episode, right?
It's a very special episode,
Yes.
I think you'll find, of a whole... It's like the Roger Rabbit of anti-drug messages.
Well,
It's just a whole bunch of intellectual property mashed together.
you've got me. Tell me more.
Well, I will in a second. Hey, you with the teeth. Listen up. That's how I wanted to start, and I forgot. So I'm doing the second segment, starting it like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Callback.
Yeah.
Yep.
For us, only minutes ago.
Yes.
But for other people, maybe 2 months. Who knows when these come out?
Yes. We don't tend to release them particularly regularly, but so we're planning to increase that, by the way. Anyone who is listening and is enjoying these, aim is to release them more often than every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is pretty piss weak
Yeah,
effort,
which is
right?
why we're cutting them in half. So we
Yes.
can do them every 3 weeks now.
That's right. All right, so we're doing Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue. Tell us about it.
Okay, Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue appeared in November of 1990 in Australia. April, I think, 21st in America.
Right.
So, as was the custom of the
but that's
time,
yeah,
we got
what's with
things
that?
a fair bit later.
I stuck them on a boat and floated them over.
We used to get, like, movies,
Yeah.
sometimes up to a year after they were
That's
released in the
right.
States.
That's right, yeah. And they wouldn't be on TV for like 2 years
Yeah.
after they were released.
Yeah. So it was a worldwide kind of thing. It happened
Mm-hmm.
in the US, in Canada, France, England, Australia, New Zealand. In Australia, where we are, it was released and simulcast simultaneously, which is what
On
simulcast
every
means.
channel, wasn't it?
Yeah, 7,
You couldn't
9, and
avoid
10.
it. Yeah.
From memory, it was just after school.
I do remember it. It was on about 4 o'clock.
Yeah. And they
Yeah.
must have promoted it a lot before because I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And what was very exciting to me at the time was there were going to be Ninja Turtles in it,
Yes.
which we'll get to in
Or
a second.
one.
Yes, only
there-
one.
yeah.
Now, have you watched this or?
I've made 2 attempts this
Okay.
time, Jason. I always try.
Yes.
I always try. The first attempt, I started too late. It was about 11:30 at night,
Yeah.
and I made it in about 10 minutes, and then I fell asleep, and I was having really bloody weird dreams. And then I woke up, and the credits were rolling at the end.
Okay.
So that attempt failed. The second attempt, I didn't have any time. So on the way here tonight, I listened to the audio as I was driving. I put YouTube on, put my phone down because you can't look at
Yeah,
your phone
that's
when
naughty.
you're driving. That is terrible. So I just listened to the audio, which was a very confusing experience.
I can imagine.
That's
All
what I've
right.
done. That's my research.
Well, that'll be really interesting then. So yeah, the stations in America all simulcasted as well. So from what I understand, especially in America, simulcasting something on all the TV stations at once is reserved for like State of the Union addresses from the
Yeah.
president
Yeah.
and alien invasion messages.
Right.
That's
Right.
my understanding of how TV works.
Yeah, or in Trump's case, both at the same time.
Yes, because I guess you need some kind of star power for this.
Yeah.
They did have a message from the president, who was George Bush,
Yeah.
and his wife, who is Barbara Bush, and their dog Millie, the first dog.
Right.
They did a message for.
And their daughter, Kate?
I don't think she was on it. Anyway, so what happens is it says cartoon things to the rescue in this like
Cartoon.
awful font.
Yeah.
And then the sitting president comes on.
Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue is the powerful story of a teenager dealing with drug and alcohol abuse.
And some of your favorite cartoon characters will help you understand how drugs and alcohol can ruin your life. So watch the program. Talk about it with your family.
And make the right decision. Stay away from drugs and alcohol.
There you go. It's pretty heavy hitting.
Good
But
on
what-
you, Barbara Bush.
Yeah, what it did show to me is how good the impersonators were when they went on The Simpsons.
Yes, very accurate.
Yeah, that was great. So that only happened in America. In all the other countries, they use the current head of state to that.
So we got John
Bob
Howard?
Hawke.
Bob Hawke.
Yes.
Okay.
So this this anti-drugs and alcohol message brought to you by the guy who has a Guinness World Record
Yes.
for drinking a yard glass in 11 seconds.
That's awesome. Did he do it at the end? Did he do that little announcement and then scull a yard glass?
That would have been amazing. I'll go through the plot in a second. It's a very short one
Okay.
this time because
Yeah,
it's...
but basically, it's lots of cartoon characters on the one show. It's like a We Are the World of cartoons, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They're all coming for a common cause, which is some guy has a little bit of weed under his bed.
Right.
So that's all it takes. But all these characters come out, and I'm gonna go through them quickly. So there are 10 different series represented.
Yeah.
There's Alf from the animated series. Alf.
Excellent.
Alvin and the Chipmunks. Who are the three chipmunks?
Alvin, Theodore, and Simon.
Okay, very good. DuckTales. Who do we have from there? The three little ducks.
Oh, yeah, Huey, Dewey, and Babooey. Cooey?
Or Louie, that's fine.
Louie!
The only one that's an actual name.
That's my brother's name. I should remember that.
Garfield, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he is the worst. He only has like 3 lines in it. I'm going to play them.
Is this when he's talking to Alf and you realise that Alf and Garfield are basically the same character?
Yeah, except Garfield, he's got one joke. He really likes lasagna.
He sure does.
Yeah. He doesn't like Mondays, but that doesn't get a mention.
Ah, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What a lost opportunity.
But here's a selection of his line, and this is most of his contribution to this episode.
You want to help track down the thief, Garfield?
Hey, going through life with a blue lampshade is work enough. Wake me when the lasagna comes. 2 sounds you
Boing.
can't miss. A breaking piggy and the sizzle of hot lasagna.
I don't like the looks of this.
Neither do I. No food in sight.
Who's the voice of Garfield there?
don't know.
I thought it was Judge Reinhold in the original TV shows. No?
No, I don't think so.
No?
But
Ask Siri. So you're always
Okay, all
asking
right.
Siri. Who did the voice of
it was
Garfield?
Bill Murray in the movie, wasn't it? Siri, who did the voice of Garfield?
I found Bill Murray
Oh.
and Lorenzo Music.
Lorenzo Music? What
Lorenzo
sort of
Music.
name is that?
That's the guy who did it in this because I remember reading that before. But that's the guy's name.
Ask it about Judge Reinhold. Did Judge Reinhold ever do Garfield?
Hang on, you ask.
Hey, Siri. Hey. How does Siri work?
You never use Siri.
I couldn't say.
Yeah,
Okay, try
hang
again.
on.
Go.
Hey Siri. Do I have to say hey Siri?
No.
Okay. Did Judge? No.
Go.
Hang on.
Go.
Did Judge Reinhold ever do the Garfield voice? Did Judge Reinhold?
Go.
Did Judge Reinhold do the voice of Garfield?
Here's what I found on the web for Did Judge Reinhold do the voice of Garfield?
Looks like a no.
Okay, yeah.
No?
That was totally worth it. Oh, man.
I'm sure.
I mean, when you think about his voice, it's a pretty good Garfield voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we start a campaign?
Judge Reinhold should do the voice
Yeah.
of Garfield.
Hashtag Reinhold for Garfield.
Hashtag Reinhold for Garfield.
Okay,
that's catchy. I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I apologise for derailing your little whatever you're up to here.
Yet again. So Garfield, if we can get back on track, Garfield, while he is the most useless character, and that's not true. Slimer is the most useless character in this because he literally says, "Hey, let's go,"
Yeah.
and then he's not in it until right at the end.
Right.
Yeah, but Garfield is the reason why it's not shown anymore because either they forgot to ask Jim Davis or Jim Davis gave the rights to Garfield, but then he said only for a certain amount of time.
Right.
And although you could easily cut Garfield out of this,
Because Jim Davis, when you think about the Garfield products, he would never prostitute Garfield.
No.
You know, he
would
would never
never-
put him on towels and stamps, and he would never do that.
just
So
outsource the writing of it.
He never would.
So because he only gave the rights for a limited time,
Yes.
once that run out, it can never be screened again.
No more.
Garfield. Looney Tunes, there was Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. The Muppet Babies, do you remember which Muppet Babies were in it?
Kermit and Piggy, I'm guessing. Yeah.
And also Gonzo, who makes a brief appearance a bit later on, probably when you were sleeping.
Could be.
The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
That'd be Winnie the Pooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
And who bounces a lot.
Tigger.
Yeah. The Real Ghostbusters Slimer. The Smurfs, Papa Smurf, Brainy Smurf, and Hefty Smurf. Smurfette appears on all the marketing material. She's not in it.
Yes.
And the opposite, Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles, he is in it, but is not in any of the marketing.
How bizarre. Well, this is interesting.
Or is Michelangelo really Smurfette? All right. Other notable things in this. This was the first time that Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck were voiced by someone that wasn't Mel Blanc.
Right.
Because he died just before this got made.
Drug overdose?
So the eventual person who took over the voice, Jeff Bergman, this was his first role at him.
Well done, Jeff.
And then George C. Scott, who did you know that? I didn't really know this guy, but then I realized I probably should. So he played General Patton in Patton.
Amazing actor. And
Dr. Strangelove,
I must say,
The Exorcist 3, and he played Ebenezer Scrooge in The Christmas Carol.
Yes, he did. So he's great, and he's very good in this.
Yeah, so he's the smoke monster.
Yeah.
Way before it appeared in Lost.
Really bloody spooky.
Yeah, he's really good. He's got a great voice.
Yes.
Then the other notable thing here is that After Mac and Me, which we did a couple of episodes ago, this was completely made by, funded by Ronald McDonald. Not Ronald McDonald, but by McDonald's and Ronald McDonald House. Yes.
What's with that?
So they were saying, don't do drugs.
Do Mac.
Yet they probably contributed to more childhood deaths.
Yes.
And they handed out 250 million flyers in the lead up.
Yeah. Wouldn't 50% of their customers be stoned, though?
I think so. That's probably a lot of their customer base.
Yeah.
So this appears at the end.
A production of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Foundation. Funded by McDonald's Corporation, its licensees, and Ronald McDonald Children's Charities.
Creepy.
There you go. So they were in everything in the 80s or 90s, as this might be. So just briefly, the plot. Michael is a boy. He's the brother to Corey, who's a little girl who owns all these toys and books and stuff that all the characters come out of. He's into weed a little bit, and an all-star cast of cartoon characters need to convince him not to do drugs by coming to life, like some kind of drug-induced fantasy.
So is this supposed to be his hallucination? Is that the deal? Or?
Well, no, but it totally could be and would be better if it is. So I guess the conceit is all these things are actually happening because they're trying to pull them out of drugs. But listen to the list of things that the scenes and set pieces in this thing and tell me that each of these aren't something that someone on drugs would tell you about.
Yes.
So he starts talking to cartoon characters. That's your first thing.
That's always a sign.
You might be a little high.
Yeah.
He gets hunted down by Bugs Bunny, who's dressed as a cop. He goes back in time. He's taken inside his own brain by the Muppet Babies. Everyone breaks out into a musical number. He sees how he's going to die, and then a carnival tries to kill him.
That is awesome. When you summarize the show in that way, that sounds so much better than it actually is.
Yeah. I'm not even going to go into it. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't watch it.
Yes.
Because it's not really that. My favourite part is actually probably this grab here.
Oh, Pooh.
It's Brainy Smurf saying, oh, Pooh.
Brainy Smurf.
Talking to Winnie the Pooh. But I just think that's hilarious, and I'm going to drop that in to future episodes. What is really concerning is how much a lot of these cartoon characters know about drugs. Because you think that they're from a world that doesn't really have drugs or doesn't really, and they're there for kids. Yeah. But Simon from Alvin and the Chipmunks is the first cartoon character to say marijuana.
Right.
In this clip here. Yeah.
Oh, what's that funny smell? I hate to suggest this, but my guess would be marijuana. An unlawful substance used to experience artificial highs.
So a lot of kids would have heard of it. So Simon introduced marijuana to a generation.
Absolutely. Like Simon, Bugs Bunny knows a little bit about drugs as well.
You know, kid, you don't look so good. What's this? A joint?
There you go. Yeah, so Bugs, good job. In comparison,
I blame Yosemite Sam.
In comparison, Michael, who is the drug addict in this in this program, doesn't really know much about drugs. When they take him back in time to have a look at how he first got introduced to drugs, this was his first interaction.
You guys cruising for lung cancer or what?
We're getting high. You know, grass, marijuana.
What's it with the
That
music?
wailing Lethal Weapon guitar.
I reckon that's Andy Summers' work.
Then there's a song that plays called Wonderful Ways to Say No, which was the original song written for this, which is a whole bunch. It's really, they lay it on so thick. I'm going to just play it underneath and we can talk
get
over
off
it.
of these drugs.
Drugs? Oh, bad news, Michael. Why don't you
Hey,
just
what
say
character
no?
is that?
Well, maybe
This
it's
is
because I don't want
Huey,
to.
Dewey, and
Maybe
Louie, I
it's
think, at
because
this
you
point.
don't know how. Let's show him how to say no.
Well, you look like three fine lads. You know, I might have something here you'd like to try. Something to make you feel real good.
There's Marianne Wildcat, wonderful ways to say no.
Okay, so it's a bit of a Broadway kind of like, woo. And they cut around to all the different characters. They all get their own line at some point. They cut to Gonzo, who is in front of I'm pretty sure in front of the Berlin Wall. So, look at this picture. We'll put this up as well. That's baby Gonzo, and I'm pretty sure that's in front of the Berlin Wall because in the next shot, Alf breaks through it to deliver his line.
Wow.
Isn't that weird and dark and weird and dark?
It's all weird. The whole thing freaked me out.
All right, we don't need to hear any more of this song.
No, that's really irritating.
And then, eventually it all works out and whatever. And right at the end, all the characters have something to say about drugs. And I don't know if this was a contractual thing, but all the major characters do it. And so I thought we'd do a little quiz where I'm going to play it and you have to tell me which cartoon character is speaking.
All right.
Okay. I just realized I didn't write down the answers. So I'm not sure either. But I guess I'll have a better idea because I've seen it.
All
whereas
right.
you just slept through it and then listened to it. Okay. Here we go.
This is my future?
It is if you don't get off those
Who's that?
drugs.
You use, you lose.
Listen to us. We
Alf.
care about you, Mikey.
Miss Piggy?
What's up, Doc, is your life. If you
Bugs
don't
Bunny?
cut it
Yes,
out.
that's good.
There's nothing cool about a fool on
Kermit?
drugs.
Yes.
Just believe in yourself.
It's Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
You're excellent just the way you are.
Oh, Michelangelo.
Without drugs.
How do I get out of here?
Yes, we're all thinking that at that point. That was pretty good. The only one you missed out was right at the start. It was Daffy Duck, but that was really good.
Oh,
I'm
well,
very impressed.
What do I get?
You get to listen to more of this podcast.
Oh, Jesus.
What you win is the Rotten Tomatoes reviews that I've been having a look through. This is my first one. It's from Timothy M. And it says, this cartoon crossover special is very informative and teaches why drugs such as pot and crack are bad for you. This is not a full-length movie, but they should make an updated version that is a full-length movie and shown in theaters.
No.
And that updated version should include other characters such as Timon and Pumbaa, Captain Planet, King Julian, and many other great characters that WREE were not around at the time of the original.
Well done. Who's
So
that?
this is Timothy from Rotten Tomatoes. So I thought maybe we could. Who would you like to see in a re-updated cartoon thingy to the rescue?
Captain Caveman? See, mine are all going to be
Updated.
mine are all going to be old.
But you've got kids. Are there any like
Quickie Koala, remember him?
No.
Quickie Koala, no. Quick Draw McGraw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All of those. Huckleberry Hound.
Shirt tails,
Shirt Tails, they'd be great. I'd love that.
Snorks, just to piss the Smurfs off.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about your kids?
Monchichis.
Oh, happiness. Do you watch any like cartoons nowadays with your kids that you're actually? Oh, this is actually pretty fun.
Not always. We watched Mr. Bean. And
Okay.
I've made them watch Wurzel Gummidge. Do you remember Wurzel Gummidge?
So you're just making them watch all the things from your childhood.
Yes, I am. Like, what's with this scarecrow that takes off his head? Oh, you watch it. You sit there and watch it.
Great.
But he's scary.
The other thing that really stood out to me is that most of these cartoon characters, most of the plot is like what people would tell you being drugs is like.
Yeah.
But also most of these characters, I reckon, are on drugs. So we're going to go through that list again.
What, the characters?
Well, tell
Alf?
me if you think that they are doing a little bit of
Alf
recreational drugs.
definitely is.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
wearing a Hawaiian shirt. He's chilled out. He's always got the munchies for cats.
Yeah.
Okay, he's definitely on. Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, the chipmunks. I mean, they're in the music industry.
Yeah.
They're definitely on drugs.
Definitely.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie. I mean, maybe they're pretty straight-laced. Maybe they're not.
Well, Donald definitely is.
Yeah, that's true.
No doubt.
And
that guy's
Scrooge,
strung out as hell.
He's diving into pits full of like hard things. He's definitely hallucinating.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, they're definitely on drugs. Garfield, definitely a stoner.
Yes.
He's hungry and
No
sleepy
doubt.
and lazy.
No doubt.
The Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, like hyperactive, always on drugs.
Yeah.
Daffy Duck, he's got like massive mood swings.
Yeah. Speedy Gonzales is obviously on speed.
Absolutely. The Muppet Babies, maybe they're not. Although Kermit knows a lot about drugs, which with that roller coaster clip that I didn't play. And Piggy is horny as hell.
Is she?
Like, she's always trying to get in Kermit's pants.
Well, yes.
Or nappy, as the case may be. And Gonzo, I mean, yeah, okay, he is what people on LSD describe. Winnie the Pooh, he's always hungry. He's obsessed with honey and getting it, and he's got to get his next hit.
Yeah.
Tigger, who's also in this.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Definitely, he's a cokehead.
Yeah.
Slimer, he's always wet. People on drugs are always wet. Are they? I don't know. They don't really do drugs. The Smurfs, Papa Smurf, Brainy Smurf, Hefty Smurf, I think they're okay.
Gargamel, I think, has his issues, but I don't know about the Smurfs.
Okay. And Michelangelo, I mean, he'd be a little bit of a stoner. He's always eating weird pizza and he's surfing. So I would say...
That's a given.
Yeah, 9 out of the 10 IP things represented here are probably on drugs anyway.
Yeah.
So in conclusion...
Do you remember sitting down and watching this?
I do, yeah, I do actually. I remember it was coming. I remember being excited for it, and then I remember watching it, and I was a massive Ninja Turtles fan, so I thought they were all going to be in it, and so when it was just one, and he was kind of a bit of a... He was really only in it for like 2 seconds, and he's not part of the core group, he's just someone they meet along the way. I remember at the end of it being pretty disappointed in
I can't imagine any kid watching that at the time and being happy with that. It's a pretty disappointing show overall. Thank you for... bringing it to our attention once more, Jason.
No worries. I have heard it is a lot better to watch when you're high.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of bright colours and funny voices in it. And the internet has spoken.
Well, there we go. That was fun. Thank you for listening once more. If you've got any ideas about what we should talk about next time.
Why are you laughing?
Your dog is absolutely bonkers. We should record this in a box next time round. We need to invest in an office. You can do that. Have you got any spare cash?
Sure.
Let's get an office without a dog in it.
I don't know if they have them.
If you've got any ideas, listeners, for what we might want to revisit, if you've got any old records that you'd like to send us, get in contact. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Where else are we?
And Facebook as well. And they're all at Retro Ordinaire. And we'll post up links to all the things that we've talked about here and in the last episodes and stuff as well.
Glorious. Glorious.
And you know what we should do? We should kind of post things that maybe we won't do an episode on, but are just good if you just like, if you like this podcast, you'll like this. Like, I showed you a clip of something from, was it Hard Target to Hawaii or something?
Yes. We're going to do that, aren't we?
Oh, no, we will do that. But that might be a fun clip to just put up.
Yeah.
It is the most amazing 80s action scene. Did you enjoy it?
I did. It was awesome.
Ron Moss. Anyway, Ron Moss. Yes, so we will see you very, very soon with another couple of episodes. Until then, Scotty, as always.
Ron Moss.
Oh, Pooh,